All right, guys, happy Saturday. Welcome to another edition of a Team Phoenix exclusive. I'm super excited to have you guys here. I am excited to have this special guest on board with us. She has a very special place in my heart. Kind of took me under the wing back when I was still kind of a newbie. Not a lot of people knew who I was. My kids call her TT. She is family through and through. I know that I could knock on her door any given day of any given week or month, and it would be a safe haven for me. And that's super important to me because that speaks to the culture of this company. It speaks to the fact that we are more than just business partners. It speaks to the fact that we truly are family here at Archer and Evolution Travel. But more than that, she also is a huge philanthropist. She does put together a pretty mean fundraiser and is the head of a pretty cool organization. She's also a 14-time IATAN card holder. She is a platinum. She has people that are moving through the ranks right now. She partnered up with or was mentored by one of the greatest in the game. You guys may have heard of Married to the Game, Miss Tony Ward. She is absolutely amazing. And this special guest and her were super tight. Without further ado, sis, are you able to take the call, Miss Patrice Abel Vance? Are you there? Did I throw you off? Are you there? Where are you at, sis?
There we go.
There
There we
you
go.
go.
Well, man, good morning, everyone. Some faces I know, some faces I don't know, but it doesn't really matter because we all one big family. But I just got it. Let's just drop some fire to some 7 sevens in the chat box. Because this amazing lady here, you guys just heard the story. You don't really get to hear those things and see those things because we always are running, trying to make sure that everything is going right for the company. But I can tell you, we be on call late nights. I might have a meltdown. She might have a meltdown. We just kind of strategize, figure out how we're going to make it work, but also make sure that we make each and every one of you in this amazing company.
Make it happen.
Right?
Right?
Right? First
Right.
priority.
Always.
Yes, always. I've been here from day one. My back office says December 15, 2015. Ron and I fight about that all the time because I was one of those that had to sign the non-disclosure. But when Krista reached out to me and said, sis, I would love for you to come on and train on warm market and travel parties. And I have to say this, my mentor, my sister friend, my everything, it'd be, wow. Both her and Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be 3 years this year. June for Nikki and October for Tony. And both of those individuals was my life. I came into the company not to build, but just to book travel. And I taught Tony Queenmore Ward how to book travel, and she taught me how to team build. Nikki just taught us everything. Nikki just taught us how to just be creative, think outside the box, take risks, and have fun while you're doing it. So today, I'm going to share something with you that's really passionate because I lost my momentum. I lost Tony, I lost Nikki, then I lost Tony, then I lost my dad. It'd be 2 years in November. And I said, I didn't want to do this anymore. I'm just going to book travel. I don't want a team build. I have an organization with 300 plus, but at that time, I didn't want it. And believe me, I was in the locker room. I was in the principal office with David McCovey. We have had words, but I always said when I was ready to regain the momentum, to really figure out what I wanted to do in this amazing company, then I'll put the pedal back, right? And that's what I did. I went back to the way that I was taught when I first came into this company. So I'm probably talking to some of you guys because I did not, and David McCovey would tell you the story. I was like, I don't want a team build. I'm just going to book travel. But what happened is when you are an amazing travel booker, People are going to follow you. They're going to know, what are you doing? How are you able to get all those travel able perks? How are you able to travel the world? How are you able to do what you do and you're never at home, right? And that's what I love about doing what I do. I can book, I can build, I can train, I can travel, I can do my perks. I don't have any more children at home. My baby finally turned 21. You guys know her. She's an evil kid. Now she's an evil adult, evil young adult. Now I just can do what I choose. So I want to pour into you guys, and I want you to just shift your mindset for a second and be open. Because I truly believe if I have residual bills, I need to have residual income. I sold a house in Chino Hills a year and a half ago and bought a house in Vegas. But guess what pays for the house in Vegas? Yeah, I put cash down. Yes, I paid off all my bills. I'm bill free. But my residual income paid and subsidized for whatever I had to pay down differently for the home in Vegas. So I have fun in what I'm doing. But I also love sharing what I do with my business partners. And I have made it so easy for them that it's just come natural. So as she said, my organization and I are back running. We're looking to continue to keep Tony Greenwald Ward's organization One Star Platinum. I'm looking for the first time to say I'm on my One Star Platinum run. Because once I become a One Star Platinum organization, that means that's going to push Tony Greenwald Ward's organization to a 2 star platinum. So I wanted to share with you guys that something really passionate to me, and that is the warm market, because that's truly how I built. I never really did the cold market. Everything I've done have always been warm market. Yeah, I do post leads. I do go on Craigslist. I go on LinkedIn. But I love building relationships. And I love the warm market because when you have your warm market, you're able to build the relationship with those individuals and they stick and stay. One thing I can say for me as a platinum, I retain my business partners. I know what my back office looked like. I know who left, what day they left, when they've been. I know all of that because I stay engaged to make sure I am working with my downline. Because long as they're in black, I'm going to continue and pouring into them. This is what happens. We bring them into the business. Yes, we do, all of us. We mentor them. We try to get them to move. Some move slower, some are skippers, some are runners, some are jumpers, some just walk, right? And then you're all excited because they're black in your back office. And then they go red. And when they go red, you get scared. You don't want to reach out to them. I know when some go inactive, anyone go inactive in my back office, because I'm in my back office every morning. I know what my numbers is when I go to bed. I know what my numbers is when I wake up, and I will go and find them. And I don't have a problem in reaching out to my leaders. But what I do say is, as long as you're communicating with them, and long as you're teaching them, and long as you're walking with them, and long as you're available for them, as long as they're hearing from you. I know Krista's probably sending out emails. My people get tired of sending emails from me, but it is what it is, right? So I want to share with you guys, and like I said, I want everyone to shift your mindset, right? We're going to shift your mindset this morning. You're going to give me at least 45 minutes of your time. I want you to be honest and say, you know what, Patrice? This is not for me. Because then your platinum, your One Star Platinum will know. She wants to get your organization to a 2 star organization, but she can't do that alone. She needs everyone to contribute. I told my team, I need everybody to be silver. You be silver, your business will be free. You have 9 business partners. You can pay that 10% on the travel bookings, and it's a win-win. And you never have to pay for your back office again, right? So we're gonna go on and get started here. You guys got me all excited. Thank you, Krista. Okay, let's see. Now there we go. So we're just gonna talk a little bit about the table of content. What we're gonna just talk a little bit today on, and We already did the work with purpose. I'm going to talk about what is your warm market? What is your hot and warm market? Why your hot and warm market matters. Introduced to the power of travel parties. Man, I got to tell you about travel parties. Step by step, how to tap your market with your travel parties. Mindset shift. You got to be open to shift your mind. I wasn't. When I came in here, I was like, I am not doing no team building. We're going to talk about that. Success stories are optional to share. The call to action. So let's just get down to the basics on your welcome and purpose. You know what? You guys are boosting energy. You got on this call. Krista sent out what she needed. She said she was having a special guest. She didn't go into detail, but you guys are here, right? You're here. And you're here on a Saturday. You're here on a happy Mother's Day to all of our mothers, our sisters, our grandmothers, caregivers of and each and every one of you, right? So you just want to always have that boosting energy and whenever you do, because that's going to tie into your travel parties. So our purpose, we want to unlock the power of our personal circle and grow faster and stronger. You know what that means, team? That means that you have to have the personal connections. Personal connections. And when you have those personal connections, you already know who everyone is. We already know who everyone is that's on this call today. Your reminder, you will always know the people who you need to offer. Man, we have a product, we have a service that changed people's lives. People buy from people, and we're going to talk about that today. See you guys for some reason. There we go. So, what is a warm market? So, we're going to talk about what warm market is. And you can take copies of the slides. I know Krista is recording. So, let's talk about your hot market. Your hot market is your family, your close friends, your besties, close coworkers, people that you talk to weekly. I talk to my family daily, but I also talk to my family weekly. I'm always having a conversation with a close friend. My besties, man, when I say close coworkers, I've been retired since 2013. But I still have close individuals that I've worked with in corporate. I volunteer in a little bit of everywhere from the YMCA to the Chamber of Commerce to a little in anything that has anything to give back with the community. I still have relationships with some of those individuals that I talk to on a weekly basis. Let's talk a little bit about your warm market. And when I think about how you define your hot versus your warm market, it's real life examples. So your warm market is friends of friends, church members, neighbors. So when I think about my neighbors, I reside in Chino, right? Now, they were too stubborn to make the freeway come a little bit closer over to Schaefer, which would have me over on the Chino hillside. That's perfectly fine. I live in the cul-de-sac of 9 homes. Why would I be in the home in the neighborhood of the pro mayor and the city manager of Chino? When I say your neighbors, I get an opportunity to really get to know everybody in my community. Everybody know Patrice Vance because she ride around in the sandals truck, right? Everybody know Patrice Vance because I've been a foster parent for over 42 years, and majority of all my foster kids have went to school in Chino Valley School District. And I've been part of the board, and I am an advocate for foster care, right? So you get to know those people. You get to know the friends of the friends in your neighborhood. You get to know your church members because we go to church in the neighborhood. And then you get to know your neighbors. Now, I'm not going to talk about old classmates because I've been out of school since 1975. So now I just told my age. But I still do see people. They follow me on social media. You think people are not watching your social media, but I guarantee you, if you post something that is attractive marketing, a subject that they like, they're going to come out and they're going to make a comment. And then some of those familiar faces that you might not have an everyday conversation. And what I'm going to tell each of you guys, I'm going to find the Eric Worre networking, but there is a book, and I think I might have it in a PDF form. Well, it outlines everyone in any industry or who you can tap into, right? It's called Making Your List. When I came into the company, even though I didn't want to do team building, Tony Queen Ward said, I need you to make a list of 100 people. 100 people for what? To book travel with? I said, girl, that's not how I book travel. You know, I like to book travel. I like to book large events. I like to take people international, do big boat parties and all. That's kind of stuff that I was doing prior to me coming to Evolution. She says, no, I want you to build the list and I want you to build it by these industries. And I want you to think about who you know. And I built that list. Eric Worre says you need to have a list of 10,000. I probably have a list of 10,000 by now because I've been doing this for the past 15 years prior to me coming to Evo. So with Evo, the past 9 years and 5 months, right? This is what I've been doing. And that's how I check off my warm market. But what I want you to take some key ways, I'm going to give you some homework. I would like for each of you to take the time in the next couple of days, because I know it's Mother's Day and we're all doing things. By next Wednesday, for all of you that's on this call, I want each of you to participate and I want you to make a list of 5 hot and 5 warm market contacts in real time. And I'd like for you guys to email out that information to Krista, because I'm gonna give Krista some homework. This to give Krista an opportunity to help you tap into your hot and warm market. It's easy because we already talked about family and friends, friends of friends. I know that each and every one of you have a conversation with somebody. Half of you guys are on Facebook. I see you guys on Instagram. I see you guys on TikTok. I see you guys. I might not say a lot, but I see. So you are out there. So what it is just a quick mindset change. Remind them you're not selling, you're sharing value. Your key point walk away from today is you're not selling them anything. You're sharing them an opportunity and an experience. But with that opportunity and experience come value. Do you know? Do you know that you are the best product to offer? You're the product of the product. I learned that in 1993 when I got laid off from GTE. I come from the telecommunications industry. I've always been in sales and marketing. I've always been an account manager, whether I'm hunting for new business or I'm farming because I have a base, right? And I was leaving to go into co-market environment with MCI. You guys know MCI from years ago, right? I always worked out of Ontario with GTE and I interviewed with MCI and they brought me on and they said, well, you have to go out and you have to hunt for business. I was like, hunt for business? What is hunting for business for? That means that I was out on the pavement, walking from door to door to businesses to sell their products and services. But what I learned was people buy from people. And I was the best product I can offer. So I was not trying to sell them anything. I was trying to share them the opportunity and the experience of having my product. And that's what you do with the warm and hot market, right? It's totally different than cold market. We all know that. It's totally different. But you just want to always encourage yourself and shifting that mindset. So let's go to 3. Why your warm market matters? Man, let me tell you why your warm market matters. Trust is already built. They know you. Again, people buy from people. You are the product of the product. Faster conversation, faster decision. Because you're going to have that conversation because I interview people, and I'll talk a little bit about that when we get past this piece. The biggest support system when you launch is something new. And I say that, family, because whenever I launch anything new with the Divas in Power, man, my support system gets bigger and bigger. When I took on and was selected to be an ambassador for the Monrovia Chamber of Commerce, man, my followers got larger and larger. When I stepped out on my faith and took a risk and just put my head down and went through the program with USC and graduated May 3rd of last year, people that I knew had not been following me, my following growth. Now I have them. How are you able to do all what you do and still be successful as a travel agent and still change lives and still travel? People are people and they're going to watch you, right? They want you to win. My family doesn't, or I have 2 family members in the business. My family will go out and go on trips and book trips for other people. I don't even sweat it, right? But then when they do come to me, they want everything free. It doesn't work like that. Now I've trained my family. Don't call me, don't invite me, don't do nothing if you're not going to support me in my business. And now they're really, they're coming around to learn how to support you. But what I want to say to you, when warm market matters, you got to have like short stories. You have to talk about marketing your business and how you book travel and how you have helped change your business partner's business. You have to have a short story, right? And when I think about those short stories, this is what I think about. This is how I do my warm market. And I'm looking to train on it. I call it form. F is for family, O is for occupation, R is for recreation, and M is for money/motivation. And those are the type of conversations I have with every last one of my prospects. Yes, I do talk to my prospects and I do send them to the corporate call. So I'm gonna have one that's on the corporate call at 11 o'clock. I've already had a conversation with that individual. So I already kind of know what her family's like, what is her B plan, what is she not doing today. I already know that she loves traveling with her family, that she books travel for everybody, and that she's looking for some additional income to subsidize things that she has to take care of in her family. She says money drives her and motivates her. So I already kind of have an idea of what this agent is looking for and how I know I'm going to have to manage, not manage, but train and keep her engaged so she can do that. I believe when you bring in business partners, and I'm speaking to you, and you are a silver consultant, you're responsible for 9 amazing individuals and duplicating the process of everything that you do. And if you are an amazing travel booker, they're going to book travel. Not only are you going to get your 20% residual income, you're going to be getting 10% every month. And that 10% can equal out to an extra $20 a month that you're going to be getting. And all you're doing is sharing this opportunity and the passion of what you love to the people that knows you and that loves you. So what I'm going to encourage you guys today is, what has your circle been supported for you? Have your circle been supported for you? Have they supported you? Then you need to ask for support, because I asked for support. I told my family I'm on my 1-star run and I need you guys to support me. I need you to support me to refer people to me that wants to change their lives and looking for residual income, or you know anyone that wants travel to be booked, because now I'm doing individual. See, my family never sends me business because they say you only do large events. We'll talk about that. I do large events, family, and all my large events I've done has been my warm market, my hot and warm market, my hot market, my family and friends. I did my second buyout this year, September, everything at Breathless, Cancun. A friend, an individual that I met in this cruise that I've cruised for the last 25 years, and it's the first year that I'm not going because of the conflict of the scheduled convention. I met a lot of my business partners on this cruise ship. So he came to me and said, I want you to do this. So this is going to be my second year doing this buyout with him, because now I sit on the executive board of his nonprofit foundation. So it's a conflict, because I can't sell him a product and also get paid benefits and then sitting on his board and we driving money for his nonprofit organization. So I'm okay with it. You know, yes, it's going to be a big chunk of what I normally get every year, but that's okay, because God blessed me to do something else that my purpose, and that is continue to give me back. So I'm going to get things back in time, right? So now my family's like, we're going to refer people to you. What I'm saying to you guys is that shifting your mindset, I'm encouraging you. People want to help. People want to help you. You just need to show them how. They want you to win. They want you to win. You just need to help them. You show them how they can continue to supporting you. Okay. So we're going to talk about travel parties, because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to introduce you guys to the power of travel party. When I first started the company back in December 2016, because I was one of those that had to sign the non-disclosure, right? Because I came from that other company with Tony Creamwell Ward. And I never knew nothing about travel parties. So I opened up my home. I did travel parties every Monday night, and I did study halls every Thursday. I opened up my home for any travel agents that did not have anywhere to bring their prospects or didn't want to even host travel parties. So I did that, and it was fun and exciting. And my 21-year-old used to sit right there, for those who've been in my home, would sit right there in the entryway, and she'd have a packet for the prospects, and she'd have a packet for the travel agents, because we always did training afterwards, right? But what we used to do is every Monday night, California and Tony Quinmar Ward will host travel parties, and we used to do virtual. We used to dial into her on Zoom, and she would do the presentation. I started feeling comfortable and doing the presentation myself. Then we used to take our organization, because they were really strong up there in the Bay Area, and we had the king and queen they called Derek and Isla. They used to do travel parties like we do today, our corporate travel that we do every day, some 3 times a day, now on Fridays and Saturdays. They used to do them every day. with James Brown Jr., those are all the old, the lead eight. They're doing other things still in the company. But what I love about travel parties, they were fun, they was informative, and there was no pressure. And I used to set up my home, and sometimes I used to do a theme. I did a sandals theme travel party for my birthday because I just got my truck, Denali truck, wrapped it. I wanted to celebrate. I had everything in my house, sandals. I had sandals. Anything was sandals, everything was sandals, right? The easy way to introduce a travel deal, group trips, and opportunities. There are so many different ways that you can host travel parties. And Tony Greenwald Ward made it very easy because she put together a booklet called Married to the Game. And we passed out those booklets the next following year, I think 2023. I can't even go back. No, my dad passed 23, 2022, 21, 2022. We passed out those booklets at convention. I spent $1,400 to make sure that we had enough of those booklets to pass out to everyone that came to convention because she wrote it out. So I am going to find that piece for Krista, and I'm going to get that to Krista. And she had how you do three ways, how you do travel parties. So I'm most definitely going to get that information to you guys. But what I loved about it is that I was able to reach out, and we did this for Christmas. Krista and Hannah and some of the local business partners here, we all got together and we did a Toys for Tots. So everybody brought an unwrapped gift because we had tons for tots for the fire station in Monrovia. But we also did a presentation. We had guests here, we had prospects here, we had business partners here. It was housed here in my backyard because that's what I used to do everything. First boot camp was in my backyard with 60 people traveling everywhere, coming from the East Coast, Midwest, the South, and the West Coast, far as Idaho. They all came because we always just pop up everything here, had our AV, and that's why SoCal has been so great in doing events because we started here in our backyard, right? And this is where I started. I used to have a travel party in the evenings, and then I did a big travel party once a month. And I set up everything in my backyard. Having fun. Yeah, it's exciting. There's no sales pitch. It's just dreaming about building events. But it also allows you to break down what a travel party is and isn't, right? It also gives you an opportunity to share photos and short video clips on past travel parties. But it also allows you, and we're going to talk about this, you can have many examples, Passport to Paradise. So I am going to be hosting a Passport to Paradise, right? I'm going to be also doing a sip and sell. But with the sip and sell, we're going to do a painting. It could be we haven't decided what type of ship or what type of selling we're going to do, but we're going to be doing it. And I'm going to be doing it here at my home. I can also do it at my Divas headquarters, but I'm looking to do other things there at the Divas headquarters, and that is hosting travel parties, right? Even though we have our corporate, everybody can't get to a corporate because they're either working or they're a caregiver or there's so many other things going on with kids in sports, adult kids still trying to get their life together. I have some of those, but sometimes it's just time restraints, so they can't get there. You can do a cruise night. You can reach out to Virgin. Virgin would do a cruise night for you. Randy from Royal Caribbean would do a cruise night for you. Carnival would tell you where to go get the video, and you can do a cruise night. There's just so many different things that you can do. You guys can do this collectively as a team. So, what we have done once a quarter, I choose 5 of my directs or leaders in my organization. We come up with the theme of what we're going to do, and we do this big travel party. But in that travel party, whatever the theme is, each of them is going to have a skit or something to present. And we still do the presentation and we just tie it in, right? And we make it fun and we give out gifts to those prospects that come on the line. You want to brainstorm with your team. Brainstorm with your team. Choose one that loves to host. You guys are hosting the opportunity call probably every day to the cold market. Imagine what you can do with your warm market. I'm keeping it 100, you guys, because this is what I do. I don't do leads. I don't do Jazz HR. I don't do any of that. I've never done it, and I'm not going to start to doing it. I build the way that I build, and I tell Chris and them all the time, I'm the soft builder. I build the way that I build because I want to retain my business partners. I want my retention to be on point. We're going to lose some. Yes, we are, right? But I make sure that whatever I'm losing, I'm bringing that plus some more into the company, whether it's reinstatements. And I'm going to tell you a secret for reinstatements. I don't play. They got to go back through the steps to success. They got to be on a one-on-one with me in 30 days, and they need to tell me what they're going to be doing. And if you are one of my direct reports, and I had a conversation with Krista this morning, I said, look, it's on. Either you're in or you're out. I love you. I'm gonna be fully committed, but I can't be committed if you're not committed, right? And you really don't want those type of people in your business. So if they do leave and those are the type of people that have left, then guess what? You didn't lose anything. But you need to make sure that those that you do have in your organization, that you are getting them to who they need to be with, right? Making sure that they're plugged into everything. And I know that Krista's probably have already shared this with you guys. But I just have to say this. This is about fun. This is about connections. This is about a vision. So let's just talk about step by step how you can tap into your market today with a travel party. You guys, I get excited. I get excited. And those will be on my training. You guys know I get excited. Things I have passion for and I love. And I say this all the time. I am not like all the other platinums. I don't build like all the other platinums. I don't book travel like all the other platinums. I just stay in my lane, mind my own business, work in silence, and support any and everybody in evolution. It does not matter who your FC or your platinum is, right? So you guys will take a picture of this because I want you guys to be fired up about the warm market and the hot market and just doing the travel parties, even if you guys get together as an organization and do something different, because we're not competitive against each other, right? We all want to have fun in this. I know I want to make a lot of money. I probably shift my head and said, guess what, girl? You never lost, you never lost it, right? You already knew how to build, book, and train. I lost momentum. I lost my best friend. And when I lost my best friend that I just did everything with, and we strategized everything about what we're doing in the company, she is the reason why we're Evolution and Archer, because she found Archer. So when I lost her, you guys, I lost part of me. I'm back. So I just want to tell you guys, make your list. I gave you guys 25 just to kind of get you in the seat, right? So you can get that information to Krista, right? So number one, that's what we're going to do. I can't ask you to do something I don't do, right? I want you to make your list, and I'm going to find my best to get that word information over to Krista so she can get it to you guys. Take 25 to 50 names without judgment. So I'm going to say this. I always judged my ex-husband, and he always got on my nerves because he always wanted me to research something, and he was never buying nothing. So I called him a cheap goat. But guess what? He came to me about 3 months ago and said, I've been watching you for the last 9.5 years. Now, he's in law enforcement. I want to become a travel agent. I'm like, oh my God, no way. He said, yes. I said, under one condition, you do not bother me. You be coachable. You get on the trainings and you stay plugged in. And what I can tell you guys, he's plugged in. He's on the trainings. He can tell me what corporate trainings he's been on. He just put something together for Riverside District Attorney's Office and Public Defender's Office. He's working the business, right? You can't be judgmental. Send an exciting invite. I'm hosting something fun. You're invited. You guys didn't go on chat. I call it Chatty Watty. Yeah, I call it Chatty Watty. You can go Chatty Watty. You can just outline whatever you want. And it'll also give you an image if you ask for it. 3, host the travel party. You got the summer, you got Memorial Day weekend, you got 4th of July, you got August, you have whatever you decide to do. Make it fun, simple, no more than 30 to 45 minutes max. And then you be able to do that bonding with your business partners and the prospects that comes to your event. Share a story or a dream. Where do you want to go? What is on your bucket list? So I'm going to say this because I host a big event. Well, I attend a big event as a vendor for Taste of Soul. It's the biggest music event that they have in Los Angeles. There's over 550,000 people there. I'm a vendor there with Divas in Power, and we do the Travel Divas, right? Marty Hernandez and Courtney Palladino came last year and volunteered. And we have a form that we have everyone to fill out, a questionnaire vacation form. And they walked away with at least about, I think Marty probably about 50 leads, Courtney probably about 35. And then the other ladies that were there. I don't take any of those. But what for me, it allows people to know who I am with Divas in Power. It allows me to connect with those other nonprofit organizations and those leaders and Ocoxman and others that's in Los Angeles. I love building those type of relationships because when they find out that I'm Divas of Power and I'm a travel agent, I still get the business, right? I'm going to use this as an example. I'm sitting in my bachelor meeting, my first face-to-face. There have been some changes and some turns since I became a board. And when I had to introduce myself, I have to make sure, you guys, that I'm always telling people that I'm a travel agent because I'm always leading in with Divas of Power. And I said, well, let me just say this. I am licensed here in the city of Monrovia for both Divas of Power and a nonprofit organization, but I also am a travel agent. And my travel agency is licensed here. And not only that, I'm a member with the chamber for both organizations. You know what they said? How would you like to come in once a quarter and do a lunch and learn? I said, oh, with the board? They said, no, with the community. I would never thought. So yes. So Emily White, which is one of my direct reports, but she's not my direct report. She's like third in my organization. We sat down and mapped out the rest of this year and what we're going to do for 2026 on how we're going to support the chamber. This is how you got to be in your backyard. If you have not registered to be a chamber member, yes, you know what? You got an operation expense, right? You got an operation budget, correct? You get to write all of this off at the end of the year. Why not work in your backyard where you can be able to be successful and you can go into the piece of parliament and say, you know what? I want to do a travel party. Do you have a room that I can be able to rent? And oh, by the way, do you have a screen? Can I be able, because I carry my pop-up screen with me, I have my projector and I got my little speaker. It's traveling with me wherever I go. You need to share the story. You need to make it work, and you need to figure out what's next on their bucket list. And number five, present the opportunity. If you don't feel comfortable presenting the opportunity and Krista knows that you're hosting a travel party, I know Krista's not gonna have a problem with popping in and doing that presentation for you and closing it out. That's what you guys utilize us for. Utilize us. Yes, we have our corporate team and great. They're doing a phenomenal job, but we are still missing people. You have to step out of your box, take the risk, and make it happen. And all you have to do is follow up. And I give you, Tony Clark Ward mapped it all out for us, right? Follow up after the travel party, do a one-on-one message, ask them if they have questions. Now, I'm going to tell you guys the secret. And I think Kristen was here, and invite them to join. Before I let anybody get out of the room with me, I always say, so, are you door number one? Because if you're door number one, that means you're going to sign up today. Who invited you to this amazing event? Can you make sure that you take them to the side and pop up your laptop, give them your agent ID, and get them enrolled? If you're at door number two, that means you still got questions, right? Well, guess what? You're in a room with all these amazing business partners. We got a one-star double platinum here. We have a gold consultant here. And Hannah, it was her first time that she got in front of the room, and now she is training and presenting on the corporate call. You use the individuals in the room. And then I said, for those that's door number three, okay, we get it. You kind of on the fence, but that's okay. You can still utilize this business partner as your travel agent, and then she's going to teach you how to become a business partner and book your own travel and get paid, right? We're not always trying to make them do residual. We're not always saying they got to be a team builder. I never tell them, I always say that it's optional. And I say it's optional because once I do the form to interview them, they're going to already tell me what they want to do. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to say they're looking for additional income because they have bills. So I want to talk residual income with them. So I just want you guys to just, again, just keep your mind open. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to you're going to do that list creation, right? You're going to come up with a crowd to invite. You're going to set your date. You're going to plan your party, whether it's Zoom, whether it's Facebook, whether it's themes. You're going to share the dream. You're going to present and you're going to offer. And you're going to come up with your follow-up strategy. Because that is what you guys are doing today. Nothing different than what you're doing in your cold market. It's just a mindset shift, family. It is a mindset shift. You're offering a value and you're not begging. And that's what we need you to understand. You are inspiring dreams, you're not selling. You're building a movement, not just a business. But I just had to just elaborate on this a little bit more because stuff like this, I'm so passionate about. I'm just so passionate about people. I'm just passionate about just giving back. That's just me. To those who personally know me, that is just me. I just want you guys to just think about this. Have one of your team members write down and then reframe just limited beliefs. If I was a salesperson and became a dream connector, I was a salesperson, you guys. My whole life I've been in sales and I've been top in everything I've done. But My selling have allowed me to be passionate to do what I do and giving back. So you got to have that affirmation. I inspire dreams. I offer value. I lead with a purpose. Can I say that again? You're offering value, you're not begging. You inspire dreams, you're not selling. You're building a movement, not just not a business. Your affirmation, I am inspiring dreams, I offer value, and I lead with a purpose. And when you shift your mindset and get out of, oh, I don't want a team build. Oh, I'm having the same conversation with my team, but you got residual bills and you're probably riding Peter to pay Paul. I might be talking to someone, and that's okay. I'm just keeping it 100 today, right? What I want to tell you guys is that success stories are optional, right? Share your examples. You're leaders when you begin with your personal network. Quick examples of leaders who started with one small travel party, grew into a six-figure income. If you follow me on Facebook, I just posted. I've been I've been celebrating my birthday. I turned 67 on the 28th, and I thank God every day. I thank God that gave me my dad for 66 years, right? So I'm celebrating success. I'm celebrating me because I don't normally do that, but I did. That $30 investment coming to Evolution in 2015, 2015 allowed me to be a six-figure earner. I was the first of everything and travel booking. Top commission earner, top commission booking, lifetime first, all of it. And what we have done, we have duplicated and shared everything that we do to each and every one of you to see like the Jody Rariskis and all of those others that are booking travel. I've done it. You guys, I'm 67. I'm working on 36 months of what I'm going to do in 36 months. I don't say 3 years because it makes it sound like it's going to be a long time, right? And my team laugh at me. I'm marking down 36 months. So 36 months, I'm focused on something personal, financial, and business. And I'm working the same model and success stories. I am a success story. Just because I'm not walking as a one-star platinum, two-star platinum, three-star platinum, I got my own story. I'm walking in my glory of God because I'm driving my divas in power. I just shared with Krista. I said, sis, I'm so tired. I've been running. I just closed another stadium. My goal is to at least have 15 stadiums that I'm volunteering and giving back to each state that I can possibly can. We just finally closed the Raiders Stadium, Allegiant. We're going to be there for everything. So what I'm saying to you guys is your warm market, your hot market is what's going to make you successful. Because that is what's making me successful in Evolution, and that is what's making me successful in Diva Empower. It's just inviting 12 friends. Tasha invited 12 friends to her living room, 8 book trips, and 2 joined. Guess what? 2 joined and 8 booked a trip. I can go on and on and on. Your call to action. Are you guys ready? I want you guys to continue to encourage each other. Encourage your teammates to share a recent travel win. I want you guys to rock with each other. I know that you do. You have an amazing leader, but sometimes you just got to come out that comfort zone. So let's just talk about the call to action. Man, pick your date for your first travel party. Because you know I'm going to be checking in, right? And I know some of you guys on here, I'm going to be checking in. It can be virtual. It can be live. Whatever you decide. Pick the day for your first travel party. Send your first 5 invitations out tonight. Oh, I just gave you guys homework, right? Share your travel party date with your accountability partner. But not just that, because your accountability partner is going to help you drive this. Everyone select their travel party date by the end of the session. So let me tell you what I have decided that I'm doing, and I'll be making this announcement to my team on Monday at 4 o'clock on Fridays, because we don't have a corporate training, right? On Fridays. So I decided I'm doing happy hour Friday, 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock somewhere, right? Normally it says 5 o'clock, but anyway, I'm gonna do happy hour Friday at 4 o'clock. And each of my directs and my second layer, those that want to help our organization get to a one-star organization, they get to do their travel party, right? Because I'm asking. So we're going to do our travel parties. They're going to come up with their theme, and I'm going to be on there to presenting close. Actually, some of them I won't even be presenting. I'll be on there to help them close. We're going to challenge each and every one of you. You know, this is a challenge. The challenge is send out 5 invites. Get your accountability partner, check in on the progress before you guys do your next call. Your next level is sitting inside the people you already know. They are. The next level is sitting inside of people you already know. Travel is one dream that connects every person across every background. Use it. My final encouragements to you guys: you got everything you need. Now let's go build together. Let's build this organization. Let's get to the next level. Let us see you guys, support you, rally you on. I just have to say thank you for allowing me to get on with you guys today. There it is. Travel is one dream that connects every person across every background. Use it. Yeah, that's me. So, Krista,
You are amazing. I think that this, I know that like I've talked about travel parties. I know that we've kind of talked on this. And I know when I was talking to you, I said, I need somebody to come on and teach the team how to do travel parties, that's doing them, that's having success with them. And if you're open to it, I think people probably have questions for you. I know that there's,
absolutely, absolutely. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, the caregivers,
yes,
the sisters, and then to the dads that do both of the jobs. Because some of us mothers do both too, right? But hello, hello.
absolutely. Okay, so if people just want to drop their questions in the chat and then I'll read them to Patrice and she can answer them one at a time. So our first question is from Miss Perla.
Hi,
Um,
Camilla.
her question is, how do you handle when your warm or hot market has expressed interest a few times but no action? How do you handle the follow-up with them without being salesy?
Well, guess what? I'm gonna tell you what Tony Queen World War used to tell me, Perla. She says, until they tell you no, don't never call them again. You continue to reach out. You reach out and you can be selective of each different text message, or you can reach out and say, I like to personally invite. This is coming up. I think this is something that you were like. I continue. So let me tell you what I just did yesterday. For the same ones, I have a list of 65 people that was on my calendar that either got quiet, or didn't make it. Not my calendar, on my job form that I use, because I have a job form too that I use for my warm and hot market. I emailed them yesterday, and I emailed them like they were interviewing for one of my ads. Dropped my calendar link for the corporate Zoom. I have one on today. I'm gonna have two on Monday, and I got three that's coming in on Tuesday. It's just that you gotta just stay engaged. And it's not that you are bothering. And sometimes I might say it, I don't mean to be a bother. And they'll come back and tell you if you're a bother or not. So just stay consistent. Find out creative ways to just kind of respond back to them, and then try to invite them to things that Now you're gonna be doing virtual travel parties. Try to get them engaged. Our corporate travel parties is corporate people, people be kind of like, yeah, I think they be scared, right? But that's okay. Now I'm gonna get them in an environment that is not so corporate. Now you're being more personable with them. Don't give up, continue to reach out. Tony told me, Patrice, because I used to be like, I don't want to be bothering those people. She said, until they tell you no. So continue to reach out. Never give up.
Perfect. Well, while we're waiting for some other wonderful questions, I actually have a question for you. I know we had talked a couple of days ago, and so I want to know how to best handle this. And so one of the things I was thinking, and you're talking about plan your and schedule your travel party, was in the beginning while we're getting this started. Do you think that it would be beneficial if maybe I schedule the travel party and they invite to that travel party so that way they can see how it's run, and then that way then like I can teach the Perlas and the Angelas and the Cicanas how to do them also, and then maybe then we would have two a week. Do you think it would be better for us to rock travel parties together before doing
Yes.
them individually?
And that's kind of what we're doing. And what I would do, Krista, I know that I have Tony's, I got everything at Tony's. I will pull it out and I would get the detail of how she outlines her travel parties. I think that would be great because then this will give them an opportunity to see exactly how it works and how you guys invite. And then they can branch off. And like I said, if they don't feel comfortable in doing that presentation, they got you.
Mm-hmm.
They got Perla. They got others that can help them close the business. And that's family. I just have to say this. I've been gone for 2 weeks. We were running the race. We were down to the wire. I was in Florida with my granddaughter, and my daughter said, no work for you, Mom. You promised no work. But I said, I got to do this because we're so close. My team just jumped out of nowhere and hosted the opportunity for 3 days straight. It blew me away, but we did it. We got back to platinum. I popped a gold. I popped multiple silvers, and now everybody's momentum is excited.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing travel parties, and we had selected our day on Fridays for happy hour, and each of them get to do one. So it'd probably be like every other month that they're doing it. And if they decide that they want to do their own, like they did, a week ago, I'm perfectly fine. And I didn't even have to be there to close them out.
Well, and that's I think, in speaking, I've been talking to Founder a lot too, about travel parties, and he said, Krista, you teach them, right? Like you're the one star, like you teach them, you hold them, and then they learn from you, and then they start, and that's really how that you and I know that, but just to kind of share with everybody else, that's how that duplication process works. You see one, then you can do one. Maybe you need to see five, and then you can do one, and that gives you that confidence to do. And the beauty is, and just kind of to talk about um, the the travel party, it doesn't always, and maybe you can elaborate on this, but I know in talking to Founder, he told me your presentation during a travel party doesn't have to be the corporate presentation. It can also be like you ask maybe a couple of questions at the beginning, and then you only talk about a certain couple pieces of the presentation. So if you have a whole room of people who are like, I need to make extra money, I need to make some income, whatever, then you lead with Evo Plus. You
Right.
know, if you have a room full of people that are wanting travel perks, then you're going to talk about, you're going to make sure that you hit and you make sure to hit on all of these different things. And so I think that's where travel parties are a little bit different. Um, and
It's not so
so,
corporatized. It's
yeah.
personal.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And
Think
so,
about what we did in December.
mm-hmm. That was, hey, listen,
We have an inside joke on December, but we did December, and that's
uh-huh.
exactly what she said. We went off completely off skid, right? Completely off
No
skid.
slides, no nothing, no
No
screen,
slides, no
nothing.
nothing. We just walking, having a conversation, and close out people. So it can be done. It can be done. I rock with my girls, and we do girl getaways, and when we do girl getaways, we talk about travel. And then I'm like, well, why do you book through me? And they're like, well, why would we not book through you? Why would you like to make additional income? So
For
it's
sure.
like,
For sure. So, Grace's question is, how could we make a virtual travel party as effective as one in person? Does the travel party guide have tips on this? So, I guess pro con versus virtual versus in person.
well, for me, we always used to do in person. COVID took us out of the room. COVID is the reason why we stopped doing in-personal travel parties.
Mm-hmm.
Virtual travel parties been great because you get to find it, tune it the way that you want. And then you're able to get people that are always on the move. You can get them standing still for you to be able to present to them. For me, I do virtual and now we're back out. Okay. So when I think about when I say we're back out there, we're doing Super Saturdays. Okay. Ron is doing different events where he's bringing in all those suppliers. We did it in California in November. We just did it in Philadelphia in March. Now we're going to be in Baltimore in June. But we're going to be in Alabama, and it's not going to be a Ron event. It's going to be a Super Saturday, just like a big travel party, but we're inviting all of the business partners to invite their guests in the room. We're going to have two suppliers there, but everything is going to be filtered the way that we've been taught how to do it within Evo. So for me, I've been successful in both. It's just about the personality and what you're bringing and how you're going to present. That's it. And like Krista said, you don't have to do the corporate slides. If you're looking to do, and I'm going to use a cruise event, a cruise travel party, the questions a lot of people are going to be asked is going to be about cruising. So you could talk about cruising and you can probably use our cruising slide as points. I mean, as a, as a talking point on how we've been successful at travel agents in booking cruises. And these are what the type of commissions that they make. So it all depends on how you're going to set and fine tune and come up with the plan and come up with the game. I think the great idea of what Krista suggested and letting her do a travel party, you guys invite individuals. And then from there, I'm going to look to get everything that I have that Tony Greenwald provided me. I'm going to get it to Krista so we can help you guys get comfortable. It's just a mindset shift. That's all it is.
It absolutely is. I think that's the thing is, we were taught cold market. We weren't necessarily taught, hot and warm. And so now it's kind of just flipping that brain and that mind shift to start tapping into that hot and warm. Does anybody else have any other questions? You guys feel free. You guys can unmute too if it's easier for you to unmute than to put it in the chat box. Any other questions for Patrice on travel parties, hot and warm market, how to build your list? Like, are you stumbled on how to make the list? Are you scared on
Yes,
like what do I say
yes,
once
that's a
I
good
make
question.
the list? Go for it, Sakina.
Yeah, so like I am not from here. I was not born and raised here. I don't have family members here. So for me, it's always like they always talk about hard market or like family close friends, and I don't got any of those. So what do I do? Where do I go tap into that? If you have some suggestion of how I can do that.
Okay,
Like
so I have a question for you because you're on social media, right?
yes, that's where I live.
So you're on social media. You
Uh-huh.
can travel. Those are your warm markets because now they've been following you. They've been engaging, correct?
Yes.
So about a month ago, I helped probably maybe 100 people in the company build a job form that Tony Queen Ward taught us on actually as soon as Krista worked with the founder on the profit residual piece. As soon as we got the new video, we have a job form that when we post on social media, people loved clicking, trying to see what's behind that link, right? When they click behind that link, that evolution video is going to come up. And then it's going to ask them questions. It's going to ask them all the questions and it's going to email it back to you. Right there, that's a hot and warm lead because it's a lead that you wouldn't have had. But the exciting piece is you have all the information. They're going to tell you if they're truly interested. They're going to tell you if they want you to contact them by phone or text. They're going to ask you, do you want to be notified by email? But most important, they're going to tell you if they just want to do it for the perks, if they're looking to team build, if they're just looking to do it for travel. It's going to be all outlined there for you. So you're going to start using them as your warm market because you're already using Facebook. So now you just got to shift up. You can hit me up, inbox me next week. I'll get on with you with your job form because I don't do Google Docs. I do everything job form in TravelJoy, but I still have my job form because anything that Tony Career Award shared with me, I have it and I'm open to share it. So you most definitely use it.
So little side story. I actually saw your job form. TT saying hi. So I actually saw your I saw your job form and I actually had a meeting with my team and about half of this group already has, we did it on Google Form, but about half this group already has their Google Form set up. They just need to use it. They just need to use it.
You just got to use it. I always tell my team this. I cannot ask, and Krista cannot ask you guys to do nothing that she's not going to do. So I yesterday I posted a little picture of my little self on my birthday. I was looking for 25 business partners. I put my link in there. And then tomorrow it's going to be Mother's Day. I'm going to do a Mother's Day flyer and I'm going to put the corporate link in there. That's how I do it, you guys. And as soon as someone hit my colony or hit my job form, I'm on the phone. My team like to text. I'm like, I want to know, what did I say for? Family, occupation, recreation, money, and motivation. And when people can tell you those four things and you can recap and kind of tie it back to what evolution had, they're going to be here to stay. I'm just going to tell you. That's what I'm going to say. I'm good.
I love that. I love that. I've never heard the form acronym, but I like that. Love it. Richard said, I've padded my team numbers exclusively from War Market. So Richard, he, one of our silvers, he
That's my boy.
literally, I mean, I'm sure you remember Richard, but Richard, literally, he has built his team. He doesn't send him to a presentation. He gets on the phone with every single one of his people and he pitches this to them for what they need it for.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's like interviewing them. And I'm going to keep it real. Not everybody can be part of my team. And I have said it. I don't think this is going to be a good fit for you. Maybe you might want to look at something else. Seriously. And I don't have a problem getting them on Zoom. I get them on Zoom or phones. I love talking with the prospects because it's more personal. Co-market is co-market. It is what it is. You get some good ones, you get some that, but you have to know your prospect.
Mm-hmm.
What's important to them. And then that helps you tie back to what the next 30, 60, 90-day goals are going to be.
For sure. Absolutely. So Tina said a travel party is selling vacation and or being a travel agent. So material would be what? I don't really know. I don't 100% know what Tina's asking, but.
Well, normally in the past, what I would normally do is, so if I'm selling cruises and that theme is cruises, I'm going to make sure I have something on Carnival, Royal, Princess, Norwegian, any brochure information I can have. If I can get some little sample pop-ups or little giveaway stuff, I'm going to have content. Now, when I do, I normally, and I've taken Tony's, and I keep saying Tony because that's my girl. She taught me everything I know. The 20 reasons on why evolution. I'm not taking any of her stuff and trying not to change it. but I am using it. So I always insert information. I always insert information about the company. We used to always have a little two-sheeter on David and Ron. Because remember, it used to be in the presentation a long time ago. So I
Mhm.
still have that. So I make sure I have copies of so they can know who the CEO and who the founder is, right? And then I normally have a sheet to kind of talk about the travel agent perks, some of the things I attend, the clear, some of those exciting things that we get in being a travel agent. So I kind of have that information for them. And 9 times out of 10, if I have enough time to train, I might have one of my leaders do a training. Or we might play a video on the cruises, whether it's Carnival or Royal. So I just look at what type of thing. Now, if it's going to be just a traditional travel party, then I just make sure to have information about the company, who we are, David and Ron. I will get Krista the information on those 20 questions. I will get Krista the information that I have that I use for Tony, and just make sure that, we share at the end of the day. I share with everybody. Everybody already know that. For those who know me, I don't be caring.
Let's see, Sharon. I know Sharon, you unmuted. Did you have a question?
Oh, I must have done that by accident.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Richard, you are also unmuted. Did you have a question?
I was going to ask Patrice a question, if I may.
You can.
Hey, hi, hello, my dear. How are you?
I'm doing better than amazing.
I love it. It's always great to see you.
Mm.
Question for you. When you became involved initially with what was it that rang your bell? What was it that went off in your mind saying, "Ooh, that's kind of cool." So what was it for you?
Well, for me, and I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys, I wasn't looking to come to Evolution because I was booking travel. So there was no reason for me to leave Vacation. So we know the company. There wasn't even for me to leave. Yes, I originally wrote into Donald Bradley when he was at Vacation, right? Tony Ward and I, our organization wrote directly into him, and I did everything here in Southern California underneath Donald Bradley. When I heard that the big breakup of what's happening with Vacation, and that Donald Bradley was leaving, and that this gentleman named David McCovey was building another brand. And I told Tony Ward, I'm not leaving. I don't have to leave. She says, well, I'm going with David. Okay. I had a conversation with David McCovey and Ron Archer because I said I wasn't coming unless I had a conversation with them. And after having a conversation with Ron, knowing that he had been in the business then about 60 something plus years, and they were, family owned, and he was here locally in Southern California, I was like, okay, this might work. But then having a conversation with David, David came out of a meeting on Mandalay Bay. He'll probably tell you the story. That's how I got the name called Travel Diva. He came out of his meeting and he had a conversation with me. And that was the highlight for me. For the owner and the founder of a new travel company, and we haven't even went live, took out the time to come out of a meeting to have a conversation with Patrice, and he shared, I guarantee you, coming to Evolution, you would never regret it. And I can say, being a pioneer leader, being a day oneer, being a platinum, being the first double gold, my multiple IATAN, the 14 from the other company, and here with Evo, I've never regretted. That $30, that conversation with David changed my life. And when I came, family, I came just to book travel. And I told him, I said, I'm just booking travel. That's all I'm going to do. He says, you can book as much as travel as you want to book, Travel Diva. I'm like, oh my God, is that my new name? He says, absolutely. I came in, that's all I did was book travel. And they both said, there's nothing else you can do. We need you to start team building. So that's what I did. And here I am still.
That's
love it.
crazy. I never knew, I mean, I knew your story getting in, but I never knew your pre-story. So to me, that's pretty wild that you actually, your upline over there
It,
wasn't David.
it
Like that's,
wasn't.
I think
It
that's
wasn't.
super crazy. Like
It
you make
wasn't.
that. And so I'm
Yeah,
like sitting here, I'm like,
you know,
dang, like,
yes. You know how David adopts people? You know, like I adopt everybody, right?
mhm,
David met Tony on the cruise when he made the decision that he was leaving. And that's when he asked Tony to come with him. So he adopted Tony. And then he asked Nikki and Charles to come with him. And that's how he put Tony found Archer.
mhm.
So yeah, I have to tell you guys, I was a little stubborn little thing because I was like, I'm booking travel. I don't need to go anywhere. But after truly having a conversation with him and Ron, David just completely changed my outlook on everything. And I have to say, you guys, he's an amazing man and he understands the cold market, but he also understands the hot and warm market because that's how we built this company from the beginning.
Well, and I remember talking to David and talking to founder about um, something very interesting. He told me that what he would do is that they'd have a travel party. And let's say Peter was like, yeah, I want to get started. And he'd say, okay, Peter, before I enroll you, I want you to go find 6 people, whatever the number was, but with this company, it's 6 in order to eliminate your monthly. And he goes, I need you to go find 6 people. I'm going to have a conversation with these 6 people. He goes, that way, when I enroll you, you enroll them, and bam, your monthly's eliminated.
Yep.
And he said that that was one of the things in, it wasn't in vacation, it was in whatever another one was like
Five links.
yes, 5 links. They were so mad because he just pumped them in because that's what he did. He's like, if I brought one, I brought 7.
Yeah. And remember he said on the call, the founders call last week or this last week about Tony was already a platinum when she came here. So she was the first of everything. And that's how she taught us. You be the first of everything, and exactly what she said. I was a gold in 39 days. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I was like, I wasn't planning to do this, but yes. And then another 8 months later, I was a double gold. All I'm just saying is that, and I still have my same original directs that came with me from vacation is still here in the business and evolution. So you can retain those business partners. You just have to just work. You just got to work it. And this is the thing. I might have 300 plus. She might have 1,000 plus. We can't talk to everybody, but we most definitely make sure that you get the tools to be successful and make all the money you want. This industry is untapped.
Yep.
So I'm back. I'm excited, and I'm on my 1-star race, you guys.
Heck
And
yeah.
you will
Listen,
never hear that.
I'm
I
on
was
my two
perfectly
star.
fine just being a platinum. I'm good. But we are on our 1-star race and we're excited. And I'm excited because the founder told me, leave the dead dead. Could never understand. He used to always fuss at me. And you know me. Okay,
Mhm.
but I'm bringing my reinstatements. But I found my crew.
Mhm.
It took me 9 years to find my crew. And now I have 15 amazing business partners that are working and they doing it. And Krista just said something, and I'm drafting it. How is this organization going to get your organization to 2-star? Because she can't do it by herself. She needs help from each and every one of you. And I told all my business partners, I just need you guys to be qualified. Just get qualified. So if anybody drop, you still at silver, you still got 15, they get the 10%, and it's a win-win for everyone. Your organization need to be a two-star organization. How are you guys going to do it together? Because she can't do it by herself. And that's what happened with me. I have been writing and driving everything to stay afloat to be a platinum organization. Now I have individuals that's contributing. So now I'm going to ask, so what are we going to do together to get our organization to 1 star? Each and every one of you can do this.
Mhm.
And if you walk away today in the same old mindset, I'm going to say, shame on you.
For sure. Absolutely. So I think Richard had one more question,
Hey,
and then
Richard,
I think we're gonna
I'm going to see you at SoCal Boot Camp.
Boot camp. When's boot camp?
January. It's always in January.
Oh, Jan.
January
Oh, of course you're
30th
gonna.
to
Oh,
February
I'm gonna.
1st.
Yeah, but I'm gonna see you way before then. We're doing it
Well,
for
we're going to be on
everybody.
convention, but I'm talking about boot camp.
Of course. You know where I'm at right now?
Where?
I'm in my boat here at Shoreline Marina, right from the Queen Mary. So I'm
Are
there all the
you?
time.
Get
Yeah,
out of here.
yeah. So of course I'm gonna
We
be
might
there.
have to have a travel
Um,
party on the boat. Just kidding.
you know what? On the founders call the other night, I was on the back of my boat, just chilling, listening to that man
Look,
spit some fire, and
look,
couldn't have been a better night.
you could have a little 8-person travel party. No.
We could probably fit 10 or 12 in this one.
Go
So
ahead, that'll work. I'll come and close me and Kristen.
hey, Krista, the question I have is, um, why the people that are on this call, I wonder what was the primary reason that they got involved, right? So for me, the only reason is I wanted travel agent discounted perks. I didn't care about the business. I wasn't going to book anything. I sure as in God's high heaven, I wasn't going to build a team. None of that even came to my brain. The only thing I wanted was I want to travel for cheap. I like travel. I like living like James Bond, but I like, you know what I'm saying, reason. But I wonder, why did Suki join, and why did Sharon join, and why did everyone else join? How about we ask them to type it into the chat box or unmute and share that? That way we all kind of get an idea what the different reasons. Yeah.
No, for sure. I think that's great. If anybody else wants to share, or if anybody wants to put it in the chat box. So Barbara says, I also joined for the travel perks. So Kenna says, stay at home and still make money. Most of you guys know I started this as a hobby for the travel perks, and then was glad that I decided to run before I needed to run, because when I got medically retired, I had 2.2 seconds to figure out how I was going to replace that money, and I had already figured out how. I was already replacing the money. I just wasn't cashing in on the money. So I always tell people I run before I have to run, so that way when it's time to run, I can walk. So um, absolutely. Let's see. Perla started as a hobby to travel more, now replace my nursing income. Love that. Grace says, I needed a stay-at-home job as well, and I always wanted to be I always wanted to be in business for myself. So lots of travel perk people. And interestingly enough, right? Like these people who came for the travel perks, they started selling travel, and now and they're also building teams. I mean, Perla is a double gold. Grace is a stone's throw away from getting her gold. Sakana's a gold. Angela, listen, Angela, she is like, and you guys on this team already know, like she's a powerhouse to be reckoned with. She just hasn't quite come, the rocket hasn't been launched, but she came for the travel perks, then lost my job and had to make this my plan A with no plan B, right? Like we tell prospects this all the time, like, you know, you never know when this plan B is going to become plan A, right? You know, but also what happens is when you have no other choice, those are the people that find a way to succeed, right? Like we've heard story after story after story of people who they they're like, well, my next step was homelessness. My next step was sleeping on a couch. Like my next step was food stamps, or my next step, and not that there's a problem in the world with any of those things, but they are a short-term destination, not a long-term gain, right? And so, I mean, you guys, I was a single mom for 13 years and I just got chills and tears in my eyes. Like I was on WIC with my oldest, Like I was on all of those things, right? Like I used those, but they were not that was not going to be my life, right? Like that was just a point. It was to get me to my destination. And my husband and I, we went on a date last night. We don't get a whole lot of time to go on dates, but we went on a date last night. And it was crazy because we were like, man, like we are different people today than when we started, when we got together how many years ago. We were like, shoot, like we got $20 in our bank account. We don't get paid for a week. Like, how can I make top ramen and chili and ground turkey? Like, how could I make that spread for a week? Right. And so now to be in a place where I'm like, I have a savings account and he has a savings account. And, I was cleaning up something in my bathroom the other day and I found a hidden $100 bill. Like, it's this business that has allowed that to happen. Like, it's this business that has created some bougie kids who want to know why they don't have two bathrooms in a hotel room. Like, it's this business that got me through the loss of people, right? And I know that's a whole other tangent, but like I've gone through, I've helped people in this business go through some stuff in their life that, how did I know this hobby was going to turn into the magnitude, right? Like I have had some calls with the founder of this company about some deeply personal things that nobody anywhere ever would have cared about. But he called me every single week. He called my husband every single week. Right? Like no CEO, no company anywhere ever is going to do that. And so when we're talking about these successes and we're talking about these, we're talking about these people that are in the business, it's not just about the money that we're making. It's about those relationships and it's about those connections. And if you don't have a success story yet, right? That's the word, yet. Use Patrice's story, right? Use my story, use Sarah Rogers' story, use Courtney Palladino's story, like use Christina Bertel's story, use Ashley Hallowell's story, like use people's stories who you you inspire to be like, right? The Amy Cabreras and the it sounds like I did not switch to a different language. Anyway, sorry, that was like a whole other tangent. But the thing is like this, when talking about why people come into this business, they come into this business for one thing and they stay for a whole other. And so I think that's super powerful. And Angela just, spiked that whole thing. Yoani, I joined to stay and make my own money, and I love to travel. I wanted to travel more. The Bissingers kids were performing at Disney, so perks and work around kids' crazy band schedule now. Last kid getting ready to graduate. Venice, need income for my family. Just had my third baby in January, and life's been lifing, right? Life happens. We get lemons and we make margaritas or limes and, lemonade. I don't know, right? Like we turn life into life. Like we just can't sit around and just wait for it to happen. To care for my granddaughter, for my son, my first, like it's powerful. What we're sitting on is powerful. And I always say it's a disservice to not share the blessing.
I just want to say one thing, family. When I lost my dad, when you say the founder is that man called me every day because he knew that my dad was everything. But during that same time, I came out of a relationship, right? I hadn't been in a relationship for years, then decided to get into a relationship. All of that happened at the same time. And then I've been foster parent for 42 years, and I walked away from it. Had a situation happen here. I got assaulted by my foster daughter, and from October coming out of a relationship, November, losing my dad, December being an assault. January, my whole life changed, shifted, everything changed. But Evo was here for me. And I have to say, Krista, life does get in the way. But when you have amazing people, and I always say, you don't have to be blood to be family. You guys are in an amazing organization, and life gets in the way. So I had to refocus, read everything. I had to take a whole year of last year to truly find myself.
Yep.
And yes, the founder kicked me a couple of times.
He's really good at that. All right, we're gonna do one more question, then we're gonna hop off because I know we've been here for a hot minute.
Oh yeah, I didn't pay any attention. Man, see what happens when it's so good. All right. One more
Okay,
question.
so last question, and I think this is actually a pretty powerful one that maybe a lot of people have, is how do you balance traveling monthly and building a team? I have travel planned every month for the rest of the year and struggle with how to invest time into new prospects. So how do you do it all?
I do it all. I absolutely do it. Google Calendar is my best friend, but I'm going to keep it real honest. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I do one-on-ones with my organization, and they only get 30 minutes of my time. And if they're 5 minutes late, I'm counseling, I'm going to reschedule. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, those are my travel days. Those are my follow up on my prospects. Those are my Diva Empower days. I interview all of my volunteers for all of my stadiums. I have to do that. And that's how I manage. You can go on my Google Calendar. If I get on the phone for Krista for 30 minutes, guess what? She's on there. I map everything out to a T. My prospecting, you guys know I never sleep, right? I'm always up and I'm always sending stuff out because I'm on the West Coast. So anything on the East Coast, they're going to get it. On the West Coast, I make sure that I'm sending this stuff out first thing in the morning so they can reach out to me. So I live by my Google Calendar. I'm time management. I am OCD. And I do a lot, you guys. I mean, I have my divas is my heart, my passion, my everything. Travel is it. So I have to balance it. And I just had that conversation with Deidre a few days ago, and she challenged me for me to sit down next week and write down everything that I do. Because now I'm picking up all these stadiums. I have to travel to these stadiums. I got to travel for corporate. I got to travel. And I have something going on every month, including personal vacations. But it's all about time management, and that's what I do. And I am still making my numbers. I know what I look like. I know what I need to do. And I'm always in my chats with my team.
And again, to kind of wrap it all up, that's why we are a team. Because together, right, we do things together. I go on vacations and I say that I'm unattached or I'm out of the office. But how often do you guys see me actually out of the office? I'm still responding to things. I'm still helping people, right? Like, but we're a team, which is why, like, I do a weekly meeting with all new agents that come in the business. I don't care if they're my directs, your directs, who's directs. Like, I do a weekly meeting with all new agents because we are a team, right? And I always say, like, I may not be your sauce. Like, you know, Sharon may not be your sauce, Perla may not be your sauce, but like they're the ones that brought you in the business. But we are a team, right? And you're going to learn differently from different people. And so, you know, that's why we have the things that we plug into. So that way, if you're on a plane, you can detach on that plane ride or on a cruise or whatnot.
But we really don't do that.
No, there's a reason I pay for Wi-Fi everywhere I go. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much, Patrice, for coming, for blessing us, for pouring into us. I hope they
I hope they got something, you know.
Yes, Yes, I better be getting that homework. I will schedule. I'll go to the chat and I'll schedule our first travel party, and we'll come up as a team what we want to call it, what we want to theme it, what we can do with it, and let's get it rolling. Love you
Thank you
guys.
guys. Take care. God
Bye.
bless every one of you. Goodbye.